Hello Internet! Today I'm going to be showing you how to set up your weServer environment for your weMessage application. The first thing you're going to need is a computer running Mac OS. The reason why you need a Mac is because the iMessages need to be sent through an Apple device in order for them to be delivered. You can use any Apple device running Mac OS, like a MacBook, iMac, or a Mac Mini. Right now I'm running Mac OS High Sierra, but your weServer will work on any Mac running Yosemite or higher. Alright, now that we've went over the basics, let's get started. The first thing you'll have to do is download Java. Java is basically a program that allows other computer programs to run. You may or may not have it already installed, but to check, open a terminal window, then type in the command Java. If you get a window prompt telling you to install the JDK, that means you'll have to download Java off of its website. Otherwise, you have it installed, and you can skip the Java installation process. There are two ways to install Java, through the JRE or the JDK. In order to use this program, you'll have to get the JDK. To do this, open up a web browser and type in install JDK. Click on the first link you see, and you should be taken to the Java website. Here, hit download under JDK. Then click the little bubble that says accept license agreement, and then select the macOS Java version right here. It's a rather large file, and it might take a minute to download. Once downloaded, open the DMG file and run the installer. It may take a few more minutes for it to install. Once the installer is finished, exit out of it and confirm that the Java command works by opening terminal and typing in Java. If you see this long response, then that means you installed Java correctly. Next, you'll need to go into your System Preferences, hit the Privacy tab, and then hit Accessibility. Once you're here, you'll need to add the Terminal app to your list of apps that can control your Mac. This allows your weServer to send messages. Hit the lock so that you can make changes and type in your password. Then you have to hit the plus sign, and then you have to add the terminal application to the list of apps that control your computer. So go here, and find terminal in your list of apps. It's under utilities. Hit terminal, hit open. Once that is done, you can exit out. Now, extract the archive that you downloaded off of the weMessage website. Go into the folder and click run.command. If a dialog box pops up about this app being from an unidentified developer or that has been downloaded from the internet, you need to go into your System Preferences again, hit General, and then click wherever it says Allow run.command to run. Go to Security and Privacy. Hit General, and then right here it's going to say run.command was blocked from opening because it is not from an identified developer. So you have to click Open anyway. Then hit Open. Now it's going to run it. On first startup, it will ask you for your iMessage email and then a password. Your email must match the account you will be signing into iMessage with. However, your password can be anything. Once you have done that, your weServer will start. So the account I'm using iMessage with is one@weMessageapp.com. And then I'm going to enter in a test password. That's my password. And then it's going to start. Okay, so now we're going to head over to our weMessage app and launch it. Under it, you'll need to enter in your IP address, email, and password. An IP address points to where your weServer environment is running. To get your IP address, go into System Preferences and click Network. Then click Advanced and click TCP/IP. So this is going to be the IP address of your weServer instance. So type that in right here, 92.168.1.73. Enter in the email that you're using iMessage with. Then enter in the password that you put. Then hit sign in. You should see a check mark animation, and then after that, it's going to show that you have signed in. If we go back to the server, it's going to show that device LGE V20 has connected. So that means you have successfully connected to your weServer. If you want to be able to use this app outside of your own internet connection, you'll have to go through a process called port forwarding. What port forwarding does is it opens your router to the outside world and will allow you to connect to your weServer outside of your home. Every router has a different process, whether you're with AT&T, Verizon, or Spectrum. I use AT&T, so at the very end of the video, I will show you how to port forward using an AT&T router. After you have connected to your weServer, you should be able to send and receive messages. Multiple devices can connect to the same server as well, and as long as the server is running, you will be able to get new messages. It is best to keep the server open as long as possible so you get all of the messages, preferably 24/7. There are some basic commands you can use through the console. You can send messages through the terminal using the send message command. Then it will tell you how to use the send message command. So you'll just have to enter in an email address and an example message. I'm going to give you an example of how to run some of the commands. Type in help and you'll get a list of available commands. So here are all of the commands that come with your weServer. One of the commands is devices, and this lists all devices that are currently connected to the server. So if I type in devices, it shows that my LG V20 is connected with this IP address. Say I wanted to disconnect this device. If I type in disconnect, then I enter in the IP address for this device, 92.168.1.77, and hit enter. It's going to disconnect the device from the server. And this is an example of one of the many commands that are bundled with the server. More documentation is on the website for how to use these commands. Another thing we can do is configure our server. In order to start the configuration, the server has to be off. So type in stop and hit enter to stop the server. It's fine to leave the configuration options as they are, but if you want to change something, go into your config.json and modify some of the values there. If you want to disable log files or opt out of crash reporting, for example, you can set these values to false. The config version should never be changed. In addition, the email and password field should also not be changed. If you need to change the account you're using iMessage with, run the reset login info command. More details about configuring your weServer are available on the website. Alright, so now I'm going to go over how to port forward an AT&T UVerse router. You should figure out what process you need to use for your own router, but I'm just showing you how to use it if you have an AT&T router. So the first thing you're going to have to do is get your default gateway. Go back to your network settings and system preferences and enter in the numbers you see next to router in your address bar. Go to advanced, TCP/IB. So the numbers right here are going to be your router. So we're going to go back and enter in these numbers into our address bar right here. This is going to take you to the router configuration page. Alright, once you're here, go to settings, then go to firewall, then go to applications, pinholes, and DMZ. Now go to the computer you're going to be hosting your weServer on. In this case, it's going to be Roman's MBP or MacBook Pro for me. But the names are going to be different for your device. Under Edit Firewall Settings for this computer, make sure Allow Individual Applications is selected right here. Now click on Add a new user-defined application and type in the application profile name. So this is going to be the name of whatever you're going to call your weServer environment. So I'm just going to call it this. Now your port or your range, make sure this is selected to TCP, then type in 222.22 and 222.22. So this is the port that your weServer is going to be running on. You can change this value in your configuration, but it's better to just leave it as the default. Now click Add to List. Type in your access code if you have one. After that, it's going to say configuration successful. So you can go back and go back to your computer. And here you're going to see an application list. So what you have to do is add your recently created application to your hosted applications. You can just ignore this because I did this process earlier just to make sure that it worked. So go under weServer environment, click Add, and it's going to add it to your hosted applications list. Once that's added, you can hit the Save button. Right here, click Save. After that, you have port forwarded your application. The last thing you're going to need is your public IP address, which is the IP address you'll be using to access your newly port forwarded weServer environment. So this public IP address is going to be different from the IP address that I showed earlier because that's a private internal IP address. But this public IP address will allow you to access your server from anywhere in the world. So in order to get that, go to ipchicken.com. This is just what I use to get my public IP address. Right here, this is going to be your IP address. I'm going to blur mine out, but whatever value you see here, this is going to be the one that you're going to enter into your application. After that, you should be able to access it outside of your home internet connection. If you want more information or need help installing, feel free to check out our website, weMessageApp.com, and more documentation and our contact email will be there. If you want a demonstration of the weMessage app in action, check out the other video on this channel if you want to see its functionality. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.